I'm gonna show you something. I wasn't expecting to see this at a gas station today. They have it. How's it going, everyone? And welcome back to Whiskier. We are bourbon hunting today in Lafayette, Louisiana. Now, I've asked a few folks for some recommendations. We're gonna do something a little different. We're not just gonna go to regular stores. Nuh-uh. Today's goal, we're going to different gas stations around the city to see if there's whiskey. I know they carry liquor, but is it the regular stuff that we're used to seeing, or do some of these gas stations have, I'd be impressed if they even had regular Buffalo Trace, I don't know. We're gonna see, and I'm really pumped to try this out. If it does well today, then we might go to a few different spots around the state and see what gas stations can come up with the best liquor selection. Let's talk about my favorite watch company in the world and today's video sponsor, Original Grain. Original Grain's been in business for a little over 11 years and they've planted over 700,000 trees so far along their journey. For every single watch sold, they plant a tree. I currently have on a watch from their Forest Fire Ember collection. Now what this means, they use some of the burnt embers from the forest fires that happen across America, incorporate them into this watch and make a fantastic looking watch. Proceeds from the sale of this watch are donated directly back to fire prevention to hopefully prevent future forest fires. Original Grain also makes beautiful watches made from whiskey barrels, beer barrels, guitars, you name it. I now have 3 of their pieces and I absolutely love them. Original Grain is already running up to $100 off of their site and they want to help you out even more. Make sure you go to originalgrain.com/whiskier and use code whiskier at checkout for an additional 10% off. Thank you, Original Grain, for sponsoring today's video. All right, we are at our first spot, Live Oak Food and Fuel. This is in Youngsville, Louisiana, about a 12-minute drive for me, and it's actually right across the street from Nunu's. We've done a couple of bourbon hunts over at Nunu's. We might have to stop in there after this place and see if they got anything new there, but we'll go inside. And yeah, like I said, look, there's pumps behind me. We are at a true gas station. They have a food court or some sort of deli, you know, where you can just go and grab lunch. And I'm sure that's what a lot of people are probably doing right now. So try not to get in too many people's way. Benchmark 8 for $13.99. Again, for 750 milliliter, probably one of the best bottles. Just good for mixers. It's really low proof. It's only 80 proof, good for mixers. This is one that I always talk about too. Evan Williams Black Label. Super solid. I feel like it gets passed up a lot for $16.99. Wild Turkey 101, $29. This bottle's definitely gotten up there in price since I started getting into whiskey. Still $7.50, $28.99. Again, 101 proof for that price. I think that there's better out there, but it's cool to see that they have it here. Don't see the whiskey, but JT Melick vodka for $22.99. Again, this is 100% rice vodka here on the shelf. Couldn't stay in there too long. Most of the whiskey was behind the main counter. Nothing I really couldn't go home with, obviously, but I did think Orphan Barrel. They had a $200 Orphan Barrel. I wasn't sure exactly which one that is. Couldn't tell if it was the Indigo or not. $200 behind the counter. Wild Turkey Kentucky Spirit, $99.99 behind the counter. Couple of Michters, a few different things, you know. Not, like I said, nothing crazy, nothing we can't live without. $13 for Benchmark 8. I'm telling you, it's such a good whiskey for that price. I'm not saying you should sip it neat, but if you do, you do. I'm saying it's a good one to mix with, make cocktails, do whatever the hell you want with it. For $13, it's pretty great. So I'm wondering if that might be the issue today, if we might have a few stores with whiskeys behind their shelf. Either way, we're gonna go try it out, but since we're right across the street from Nunu's, we're gonna pop in there real quick, take a look at their shelves, like a normal liquor selection. So we'll see you at Nunu's. All right, y'all, so we made it to Nunu's. I guess it's our second spot. Second stop of the day, not a gas station, but it's also not a regular liquor store. It's basically a grocery store. Like most of the liquor stores here in Louisiana, they just have, you know, liquor spread out throughout their groceries. But we made it to Nunu's. There's a bottle inside. Completely crossed my mind. I was supposed to come grab. So it's perfect that we're here today. We're gonna look at a few things on the shelves and also grab that bottle if it's still there. We'll see you inside. Looks like a couple cases of Penelope Toasted. Heavy toast for $60.89. So $60 for a Penelope Toasted. Right next to it, of course, your Architect for $60. Some rosé cask, and then some barrel strength as well. $52 for barrel strength is a great price. I've never seen this before. I never even knew this came out. Never heard of it. Old Forester Mint Julep ready to drink for $22. If any of you tried this, let me know. I actually might come home with me. I think that'd be cool to make a little video with this. See, they still have some of their Angel's Envy pick for $85. Normally those get up to like $100. Henry McKenna, $62. I always get the comments that people used to find this bottle for $35, and then right next to it, Heaven Hill Bottled and Bond, this stuff used to be allocated to, but $44 is a fantastic price. Moving down here too, we have the Representative. This is a single barrel from the New Orleans Bourbon Fest. They have a few picks in store from what I've seen from the New Orleans Bourbon Fest. $44.99, pretty sure that's just MGP if I'm not mistaken. Got a couple of Redwood Empire, some Old Soul. If you've ever had the blue label of a single barrel from Old Soul, that stuff is some of my favorite single barrels for their price range. I think they're around 65, maybe a little less. Green River Rye, of course. We got to talk about all three of these right here for $29. This has to be something that I'm buying all the time. It's gonna always sit on the shelf at my house, always maybe good for cocktails, even for sipping. I really like this weeded a lot. This was one that impressed me. I'm not crazy over the bourbon, but I see why, you know, I should recommend it to you because for $29, it's not gonna hurt your pocket to try something. You never know. You might end up falling in love with it. $46.99 for the Wilderness Trail Rye. Wilderness Trail Ryes to me are some of the sweetest whiskey that I have. It's fantastic. It sips easy. I honestly don't even put them in cocktails because I love sipping them neat so much. They use a sweet mash, like I said, 100 proof too. Telling you, if you can, get yourself a Wilderness Trail Rye, and if you really can, get yourself a Wilderness Trail Barrel Pick. I know those aren't the easiest to come across, but if you can, buy it. $69.99 for this Whistle Pig Camp Stock Wheat Whiskey. Do any of you know much about this one? Haven't tasted it. I honestly haven't even heard reviews of it, but $70 here. Boom, this one. This used to be so hard to find. Old Ezra 7 straight rye whiskey. So it's a 7-year age-stated product, rye whiskey, which I've been really loving, for $60. I love it too. It's good. I've had a few samples. It's fantastic. It's just crazy to see it, I guess, sit on shelves again now, but also good. Down here, some Nulu products. We have the Nulu toasted barrels and then straight bourbon. $69.99, $55.99. And then for you Ben Holiday fans here, we have some of the Rick House proofs, the Bottled and Bond over here, $60, $70, and I'm guessing around the same price for the soft red wheat. Look, again, something about Louisiana, Old Elk is everywhere. Got some Bowman Brothers small batch and the port, $31.99 for that. Let me tell you, look, we got to talk about that real quick. From what I was told, Bowman Brothers, they take Buffalo Trace distillate from Kentucky, ship it to Virginia, they redistill it and age it at their facility. So kind of the same juice, pretty much the same juice. If you can't find Buffalo Trace, highly recommend you try it. Even if you can find Buffalo Trace, I would buy it, compare it, let me know what you think of that. And check this out, look at this. Crittenden's Cut Above Boo Rye, $64. I will say I have this bottle at my house and I love it. Right next to his Cut Above 100 proof Bottled and Bond. Look at that. Pretty much, I mean, right near Louisiana. It's a border state. Matt Crittenden's making some pretty great stuff. I've had about 50% of what I've had from him I really, really love. Down here, some Baker 7, $61 for 7 years, 2 months. When this age right here on the neck gets up into the 8-year mark, that's when you should buy these. And I've had some Bakers that are just phenomenal. Speaking of Wilderness Trail Picks, $54.99. This is another New Orleans Bourbon Fest. So 4-year, 2 months, char 4 barrels. And this one comes in at 103 proof. The one at my house is also 103 proof. It's phenomenal. I mean, I say that word a lot, but it really, really is. Maker's Mark picks, guys, $59 for both of them. They're 2 separate picks. I'm telling you, this stuff, if you're looking for Weller foolproof, try this. In general, if you're looking for foolproof, I promise you, I get a lot of similar notes off of those as well. Down here, shout out to Cajun's Cut right here. Cajun's Cut small batch, $48.99. Some T-Moon. I have their new bottles of T-Moon. So this is 80 proof. The new T-Moon that I have is 100 proof, and I like it much better. 100 proof, so if you read that, it says spirits distilled from grain and cane, finished in charred oak. So the reason it can't be called the whiskey is because of that sugar cane. He put sugar cane into the spirit. It's very unique. Von Vale, of course, is his single malt. It's making great things. Big Tower of Elijah Craig there. So was just told by the manager here, they are expecting their barrel pick from Elijah Craig, I think tomorrow or by the end of this week, which is great. And I know they get a couple of barrels of Elijah Craig every year, 2, maybe 3. and he said one of them's very old. He's not sure if that's the one coming tomorrow, but it is. And some good news for me too, right here, Woodford Double Oak. They got a pick of that coming in as well. Why we are here today, why we stopped in on this little adventure, and it became even a bigger adventure, is because of this right here. Let me show you. They have these here and a couple back there on that shelf. New news, has picked a Jack Daniel's single barrel proof rye. Guys, 134 proof. It's beautiful. Came with the dog tag. I don't even know what the price is yet, but I know it's coming home with me for sure. All right, y'all, so we're here at Go Fresh. Now, this is a gas station I've actually been to quite a few times. I've eaten some of the lunches that they have here. It's fantastic. I guess I never paid attention to the fact that they might have whiskey here. Highly recommended. We're gonna go inside. Either way, I know I'm gonna get a icy today. It is a hot one outside. Love ices. We'll see you in there. All right, y'all, so they have a full-on deli here. Come get your lunch, whatever you need, the greens, the stew. But today, I think I'm gonna get me an egg roll. Hopefully a boudin egg roll or some form of boudin they have it. I'm telling you right now, Best Stop Boudin is the best place to get your boudin. And this gas station, although they don't make it, they're kind of like contracting their boudin out. A few gas stations, few different places, golf courses carry the Best Stop Boudin. It's best. Goes best with the Coke Icy. Again, look, we're gonna show you the shelf here in a second, but it is a legit full-on operating gas station. They got the deli back here behind me. This place is a must stop, and I just talked to the owner here. We got some good news for this store to talk about today. Starting up here, we have Russell's 10, $41.99. Some 1792 small batch for $36.99. $99.99 for some Angel's Envy rye. It's pretty crazy to see that a gas station has this, but that's a solid rye for 100 bucks. It's very much a butterscotch forward rye whiskey. It's really nice. 45 bucks MSRP for some JT Mellick 100% rice whiskey. This stuff is so good, man. I love it. If you're looking for like any Weller products or anything like that, it kind of fits the profile. It's really sweet. Has a nice little burn to it, nice aftertaste, and I do think it's higher than 90 proof. Let's see. I know it's aged for 4 years, and from here, 96 proof. 96 proof, so a little bit higher than just a typical 90 proof or 80 proof bourbons that you're gonna find. $24.99 for some Sazerac rye. I know I say it before, but it's still wild to me that this used to be really allocated and now it's available. At least not everywhere, but definitely in Louisiana. It's just everywhere. We don't talk about this bottle enough here. $17.83 for 20 bucks. A lot of people talk about the Evan Williams white label. I also think that this is a contender for another one of those can't beat for the price whiskeys right here. I know you're getting bottled in bond for a little cheaper, but I really think that this is a better quality whiskey than the white label. Moving to the little counter behind the shelf, we have some Jack Daniel's McLaren editions. Look at that. Benchmark top floor. They have 2 bottles of the top floor. This is some of the, dude, I think it's like $14. It is so good for that price. Holding, I know that there's a customer, he said, that's always looking for one of these bottles, so he's holding it for him for when he comes back from his trip, his work trip. And then look, tucked behind here, Jack Daniel's Sinatra, 180. If you're looking for a Sinatra, I have actually been seeing these kind of sit on shelves a little bit more now, the Jack Daniel's Sinatra. Maybe the hype's gone away with them. Not sure exactly what it is, but 180, a gas station, one of the coolest little convenience stores. There's a deli. You can grab your beer here, your seltzers, your food, and now your liquor, and they're gonna expand. I was also told they're working on their very first store pick right now. They're literally in the process of picking the first store pick. I personally don't know any gas stations that are picking barrels for their store. That's crazy. $63.99 for the Penelope Toasted. This is a fantastic bottle. I mean, especially the ryes that are coming, the toasted ryes, but even that bourbon, it's kind of tucked away, so you might not see it unless you're back here. They let me come behind the counter to film, but that's a great bottle. And look at this. They have the small batch and the port, and this one, $36.99 for that small batch. Rare breeds down here. They got some Smoke Wagon rye back there, and look at this. This, I think, is just so cool to me. It seemed like a year ago you couldn't find 1792 foolproof or bottled in bond anywhere, and now they're finally becoming available, but here for $51.99. If I already didn't have 2 at home, I'd probably go away with that one. It is one of my favorites, the 1792 foolproofs. But here's the thing, they can be inconsistent sometimes, and that could be their single barrel foolproofs, like a store pick of foolproof. But it's fantastic, 125 proof, consistent, lots of banana notes. They're making good things. I love it. Oh look, they even have, look, rare breed rye. somebody was just telling me I should try the Rare Breed Rye, even though I don't really like Wild Turkey a whole lot. $55, not really breaking the bank, and it's a cask stream, barrel proof at 112. So it's pretty much the selection here. I'm impressed, and I really am curious to see what their store pick's gonna taste like. All right, just wrapped up at Go Fresh. Shout out to this store, okay? Beautiful location, beautiful store, very clean on the inside. They got a deli. They got all the snacks. My favorite, they got the icy machine, okay? You can get your beer. Like I said, everything is here. And they were kind enough to let me get behind the counter where people check out to actually get in the nooks and crannies and show you all the bottles that they have available. Again, the store owner said that they're picking the very first barrel pick for the store. Huge. Congrats to them. Good management, okay? Store owner also said, hey, listen, what I like to run this, I try not to take anything home. If my customers are looking for something, I'm gonna save it for them. So, you know, they get allocations here, okay? Again, probably not the pappies and stuff is what he said. He was like, you know, we might not get the pappies, but we get allocations and we have regular customers here, just like regular liquor stores do. So when people come in, they're asking for something, we're gonna do our best to get it for them. That is a well-run store, well-run system that they got going. So that's something always, you know, all of us here in the whiskey community can appreciate, and it's respectful. Good way to do it. I'm surprised though, man. These gas stations are surprising me today that they're run just like regular liquor stores, except they have way more going on than a regular liquor store. They have a food department that they have to worry about, deli to feed people. They got gas pumps when there's issues. There's just so much going on. Now that I'm realizing they're moving like 1,000 miles an hour and still managing to sell liquor at fair prices. Those were great prices in that store too. Takeaway for me was probably the 1792 full proof. What was it, $51, I think? Bowman Brothers, $36. Some great stuff in there. We got one more stop. We're gonna head there right now. See you when we get there. We are here on today's last stop of our gas station adventure. We are at Lighthouse Market. This is actually the closest one to my house, so I thought, let's save this one for last. It's maybe half a mile away, so we'll get down, see what they have. I've been in here before they remodeled this place, so not really sure what to expect on the inside. So far, I've been impressed by what a few of these stores have had to offer us today, and we'll see if we can end on a bang. See you inside. Finally, have a store with actual like liquor selection that you can walk through kind of experience. So 29 bucks Sazerac Rye, shout out. Just kidding. If you like High West Campfire, you like it, just not for me. $80, looks like $59.99 for the bottled and bond. 30 bucks Makers. We got Knob Creek, of course, some Jack Daniel's single barrel. We almost passed this up right here. JT Mellick, $45, Rice Whiskey, and then the Rice Vodka for $25. That's actually a great price. Hopping down here, some Benchmark 8, 14 bucks. Again, solid mixer. Look, handles of Crown. People love their Crown. I've actually never seen a handle of Rebel. This thing is heavy. Holy crap. I know it's flavored whiskey, but any of you ever had Howlerhead? The banana whiskey, is it good? What are we thinking? I'm gonna show you something. I wasn't expecting to see this at a gas station today. They have it, a Buffalo Trace bourbon tower, full of Buffalo Trace, and some 1792, and some Traveler as well. $41, $27.99 for Buffalo Trace. I said I was gonna be impressed if even a gas station, any of them today, had Buffalo Trace, and this one has a tower. So I'm imagining normally when they have tower displays, that means they're normally full to the brim. Wasn't expecting to see this today here. All right, y'all, just parked back at home. We are done with today's bourbon hunting adventure. Again, wasn't really expecting to be mind blown today, but my perspective has definitely changed when it comes to gas station liquor sales. I think we're gonna continue this. We're gonna go across the state, maybe different states that sell them in gas stations and, do a little series about it. But if you're interested, by the way, we're doing a JT Mellick barrel pick in October. And in the meantime, we're hoping to get more barrel picks. But JT Mellick barrel pick is set in stone in October. We have a few patrons coming out helping us pick that barrel. But if you're interested and want to buy that barrel, just join our Patreon, baby. That's where our barrel picks go, patreon.com/whiskyer. I'll attach the link below. Today, new news, their rye pick, Jack Daniel's barrel proof rye, coming in at 134 proof. This is one that I've been looking forward to.
I now probably have like 4 or 5 of these ryes on the shelf. They just don't get old to me. And the takeaway of the day, yeah, it was just different experience. Super cool. Again, a lot of the liquors behind the main checkout, so hard to film that, but there was a couple of stores that really let us go in detail and get some good shots for you guys. So I hope you all enjoyed this video. I'm cracking this tonight. I can't wait, and we'll see you in the next one.